And welcome to Stamp with Angela. I'm Angela Palmer and I'm looking forward to sharing some cards and ideas with you today. So thanks for joining with me, whether you are joining live here on Facebook, watching the recording later or watching this on YouTube. I appreciate you being here with me and I hope that you get some new ideas and it inspires you with your paper crafting, stamping, card making, that kind of thing as well. So I'm excited to share with you some cards. They're kind of like puzzle cards. It's a great way to make many cards at once and using some pattern paper or designer series paper. And I'm making them as Christmas cards, but you could use them for any kind of papers for any particular theme, whether birthday or something else. So once you know the technique, it's something you can try in different ways. So I hope you make use of this and you may like to check out like the paper that I'm using, or maybe you've got some paper at home that you'd like to use up as well. So thank you for joining with me. Appreciate that. And we will get started. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to comment. I'll do my best to answer during the Facebook Live, or maybe you're commenting later. I'll keep an eye out and answer your questions and things too. All right, so I'll turn the camera around and we will get started. So these three cards I have made, and as you can see, they use designer series paper. And I don't know if you recognize, but there's three particular patterns that I've used. It's a bit like a puzzle card, I said, because you kind of mix and match and put them together. And they're quite fun and easy to make. So the paper that I've used, so it's from the mini catalogue. So there's a variety of wonderful papers in the back. So if you look at the back on page 76, you'll see the papers. They're quite small, but you can refer to the reference to see where they are. So I'm using the Walk in the Forest, which is right at the beginning. And it's these papers here. So this is particular paper set is also not just great for crafting, but it is kind of a fundraising kind of thing as well. Stampin' Up! Making a Difference. For every paper pack that is sold, Stampin' Up! Will donate $4.50 to a organisation to do with helping others and that kind of thing. And I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I think it's something to do with Christmas gifts or whatever to others. So I should look that up so I but so as well as getting paper for yourself, Stampin' Up! Are donating, which is really cool. So I'll show you what the papers look like. So there are 12 by 12 and there's these designs here. So we've got some greens with some, garden green, and then some pretty peacock, and then we've got blues. Let me just check what colours are in it. Does it say? Old olive as well. Then we've got some of the red, which is cherry cobbler, and some balmy blue, one of my favourite colours. So a nice variety of colours there. So we've got some with kind of the bear and things as well. And then on the other side, it's more kind of patterns and stuff. So stripes, snowflakes, green, and there's a repeat of those ones there. So they could be non-Christmassy as well. That's kind of got Christmas sort of tree prints on it. All right. So they're cool papers. The other thing that I love about this paper is, I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I made a card, using this set here, and I made this particular card using the stamps from the Merriest Tree. And the paper also works with those dies. So if you look at the size of that tree and that tree, you'll see that they kind of match up. So here are the dies. And if you have a look at the biggest tree, the biggest die, it cuts out that one. Then the next one down will cut out this. And where's my next one? Is that it? Oh, there's another one here. And that die is, it's in the box. Worried for a minute, wasn't there, but here it is in here. So you can cut them out of the DSP as well. And I'm not sure, I'd have to check whether the punch fits that one or not. It looks, if not, you could fussy cut. It looks like that's been punched out. So yeah, so lots of possibilities with that particular paper, which is cool. I didn't want to use that on this card because I wanted to save it for my dies, but just so you know. Okay, and if you didn't notice with my dies, when I get them, I photocopy it before I peel any off, put some magnetic paper down, and then I stick it together so that I know what's, aha, I wonder where that die was. I found it in my carpet, on my carpet, at the moment I was about to vacuum and it got sucked up, so I had to rescue it from the, vacuum cleaner. And I couldn't remember what set it was from, but now I know it's from this set and it's missing, so I can put it back in. You know that moment when you're vacuuming and you see something, but you can't react fast enough and up the machine it goes? At least I could get it afterwards. All right, so at least with photocopying, I know what should be in there. So that's very helpful. Okay, so back to today's cards. We're not doing too much stamping. We are going to make the most of the paper that we've got. So I have chosen for my card base to use Garden Green, and then I'm using the Cherry Cobbler for the accenting colour, and then these are the 3 papers that I have used, so you'll see them like that. I did wonder whether I wanted to, because the bears are quite cool, although I might be cutting into them a little bit. You just don't want too busy designs. You could do the snowflake one. I mean, we don't have snowflake so much here, but then there's not actually that much red. I've done red, but there's not actually red in these papers like there are in the stripes. So the big decision is deciding what sides to use. So I think because I've got red in it, I will go for the stripes again, but maybe my card base would be slightly different colours if I was going for more of the blues. Maybe I'd use white and blue for my card base. So that'd be quite nice to try. And I didn't think about it earlier, and I've pre-cut these to go. So let's go with something similar to this. Okay, so card bases, normal size, half of an A4, 21 centimeters wide by basically 14.85, which I know is kind of, a little bit tricky, but it's exactly half. And then the next size for my matting is 10 centimeters by 14.3. And then these DSP, they're cut exactly the same size. Need to decide which way is the right way up. And they are half a centimeter smaller, so 9.5 by 13.8 basically. All right, so to make this card, you need a trimmer. So let me get my trimmer. And I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, so I need to put all 3 pieces together, make sure they're all facing up the right way, put them as tightly together as possible. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off at an angle a piece like this, put that aside, and then with what's left, I'm going to cut an angle down like that. So let's have a go at that. So put them together, so angled across the bottom like so, keeping them together, and then we're going to angle like that. Okay, so now you've got 3 pieces like so. Now here comes the puzzle bit. So what I'm going to do is get my 3 pieces to put it on, and we'll do one at a time. So we'll start with this one. We'll put that there. Can you see? I'll move it up a bit. This here and this here. Then with the next one, we want to start. We don't want the same, so we're going to start on the second card. Put that there. Oh, good. We didn't cut off our bear, which was quite good. I should have checked. And then that there, and this over here. And so this one, we're now going to start on the third one. So they've each got this pattern. And now the bear goes here. Oh, I did well with my bears. And that goes like that. Okay, does that make sense how they come together? So you kind of want to lie them out, make sure you've got it all matching and things before you start gluing. It's actually quite quick and easy to make once you've got the bits. So then I'm going to stick them together. So I'm going to turn all over on one card first. And I'm going to put glue on all the pieces so that I can adjust them as needed. And I like to make sure they could overlap slightly. Try and get an even edging around them. So I'm going to start with the bottom one. Put that at the bottom. Try and have an even edge. This one goes up here. So I'm lining it up more with the edge of the card rather than with that. And if it overlaps slightly, it doesn't matter because we're going to cover that middle bit. It won't be perfect. And then this one here, as long as you don't have a big gap at the top or something like that. Okay, so you don't want too busy a designs, so it's too busy, but yeah. Oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't do the stripes, did I? I did the wrong side. Oh well. I was going to do the stripes and I had it the wrong way around. That's okay. We'll keep going. So I've got a red background, but not actually any red in the card. So if my room was closer, I would probably go get some balmy blue cardstock because that kind of coordinates with it. But I don't. I don't know if that looks, what does it look like with the red and the green? They're still Christmassy colours, so we'll go with it. But yeah, I meant to have the stripes showing, but I can't. And you can't flip it over because of the angles. But we will keep going. But yeah, I would have liked to have a bit more blue in the background. What I might do is leave the last one, and I'll do that later with some blue and share a photo of it and so you can see what you think. Oops, see how that's not angled, right? So we've got, with the glue, a moment to turn it over. Okay. Slide it down, move it. You can adjust it slightly with the glue, which is great. There we go. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to leave that one. I might finish it later with some blue so we can compare that. But even the red looks quite nice. All right. Then we're going to put that like so. Yeah, these two designs together look a little bit busy because they're two trees and stuff, but it's still, you know, an effective card. And then I'll show you 3 ways to decorate the front. Who noticed that I had the paper around the wrong way when I went to cut it? Okay. All right, so basically what we want to do with our sentiment is have something sort of around this part here where all the papers meet, just to kind of tidy it up. So you'll see I've used a couple of different punches. So one of the punches I've used is this one here. I think it's called the Lasting Labels. Don't quote me on it. And then this one here is another one that I've used. And that's a something tag punch. I should know. I'll just quickly look it up and tell you. It is so that's a handmade tag punch, and this one is the Lasting Label punch. So I was right. Okay. So because I've got that red in there, we'll still use some red. So I'm using the Merry Christmas, which is out of the Stars at Night set. So we'll use some Cherry Cobbler because that's kind of my bordering colour. But the only bit of red is there. But anyway, so we'll stamp 2 of those. Oops, you can't actually see them off camera. There we go. Oh, that one moved because I tried to slide it over. So we'll turn it over, do it on the other side. Okay, so here's one. We'll cut that out. And we'll flip it over. You've always got 2 sides. Okay, that looks a bit better. At least we can angle it to make it fit. What did I do? We only need one of those, don't we? We want this one. Is it going to fit? No. So what we'll have to do is punch it first and then do our Merry Christmas so it fits the right way. Again, I'm off camera, sorry. Let's come up here. Punch. Usually you stamp then punch, but because the angle and the size of my paper, that didn't quite work. All right. So always great to add a bit of bling or embellishment. So you could put that on with dimensionals just like that, but you'll see here it's framed a bit as well. So you may be thinking, how did I do that? So what I do is get some scraps of cherry cobbler, and I'm going to punch out 2 more of these and do a little bit of cutting. So one we're going to cut down the middle, and the other one we just want the ends. Okay, so we're going to put a bit of glue top and bottom and put this on like this, so it just frames it, just a little border top and bottom like that, as big or as little as you like. You can slide it in while it's still wet, and then we're going to do the ends as well. Can you see that? I'm just going to put that aside to, the glue will go clear in a minute. Wipe that off. What was I saying? Oh, well, yeah, just put it aside and let it dry a little bit so we don't slide the extra bits off. Okay, whoops, that's not wanting to stay. Okay, so that's one possibility. I've done the same kind of thing with this one too, but I have just done one cut if I remember correctly. So what did I do? So I went down the middle, put glue either side, hold it in the middle so I don't get glue on myself, and 1, 2, so that looks quite cool, eh? Just sort of doesn't quite meet at the top, but that's, so then you can do that. So we're going to add that with dimensionals, and the other one with dimensionals too. All right, use whatever, shapes and things you've got. What I will do is I'll put this one on, and I'll show you what I did with the last one as well. Where is my take your pick tool? Whoops. Good way. You don't have nails to get it off. So we're trying to cover up this sort of area here, just those joins and things, and then we can add a bit of bling, bit of sparkle. So I've used the iridescent rhinestones for that. So we'll put some of those on. Here they are. Maybe I won't use the big one this time. We'll use a medium-sized one. Whoops, it stuck to my finger. We'll do one there. 3s are good. I don't know, kind of like that. There we go. All right, so we could put that one there, and you'll notice this one here, I've actually white embossed it with the red and then put some ribbon behind. So I prepared one earlier, so we'll do that. And then don't you love the ribbon? Look at that. It's got a nice shimmer to it. It's the white iridescent ribbon. So these are the iridescent pearls. This is the iridescent ribbon, which is very cool. So where's my open one? Here. This is what it looks like, nice and sparkly. So we'll fold it in half, and I will get my ribbon scissors. So we're wanting it to go kind of behind and down a bit. Let me think of the angles that we want. So we'll make the other one go that way. All right, so I'm going to put a bit of tape behind this to adhere it to, and then we'll put dimensionals on after. So just use the seal. Okay, so fold it. I wanted it that way. Angle it slightly, kind of like so. Slightly different to the other one, but let's try that. And we'll use our dimensionals again. Maybe just one either side might be enough. Okay. All right. So that adds a bit of sparkle to it as well. And then obviously we've got our last one to do, but what I'm going to do is try it with some balmy blue so you can kind of see how that looks. So there we are. So when you make these cards, you've got 3 pieces of designer series paper. You're cutting them all together at the same time, making sure the design is up the right way and the side that you want up the front is on the right way. So stripes and things. And then you put it together like this. So I think particularly for these ones, the different tree patterns work well. That one's a little bit different, but actually I think it's okay. I don't know if you've had a look, but in the catalogue, there are some cool ribbons and things. So in the back is a whole lot of papers. So the paper I used today was Walk in the Forest. So there's quite a few different Christmassy standard size papers and some wonderful things in the mini catalogue. If you don't have a copy of the catalogue and you like one and you don't already have a demonstrator, feel free to get in contact with me and I can send you a complimentary copy. Remember to get in touch with me if you're interested in purchasing anything. So why not give it a go and make a set of 3 cards using your papers. So these are Christmas, but maybe you've got other paper. Maybe you don't get, make it too busy. You could always have one piece that's a texture dry embossed piece. So you've got 2 papers and an embossed piece too. But just work out what goes together. But they're quite cool cards and it's not hard to make. So I hope that inspires you. If you do give it a go, how about you send, I'd love to see some photos if you'd like to send them to me of your cards. It would be cool to see what you've created. And one of the first things that I like about Stampin' Up when I joined was their punches, because they make it cutting out so easy. They're great for sentiments, and sometimes I like the punches that work with images, stamped images as well. They're great. So lots of great things about Stampin' Up and the products that they have. So I hope you enjoy using them too. So if you've got any questions, please get in contact with me. If you need anything, do let me know. Obviously, I can order at any stage, and sometimes orders will go directly to you. Sometimes they'll come to me and you'll pick them up, or I'll pass them on to you, send them on to you. But do let me know. So I do enjoy sharing this with you. I hope you enjoy your crafting and stamping and card making too. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks so much. Bye.